is magic to this place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
There is magic, but it is not so much for...
I'd welcome you back to your homestead, but it seems the Imparium on the Imp plane at the end of Imp is far more appropriate. It shall be my pleasure. How very right you are. These thoughts have been bubbling in my mind like so much drink in a still, but I believe they've finally transformed into something quite potable. From what I can gather, the following stands to reason.
Check!
The generals were put in charge of the God Box, but they must have faltered. The void must have escaped, or how could it loom upon us once more?
You're a good day. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Perhaps that faltering could explain why their souls were loosed, and why those souls now reside so contentedly within you. Most certainly. Aye, one can't quite get around demons these days. Luckily, old Moloch is as gentle as, well, not a lamb exactly, more as a starved lion, but that is still exceptionally meek as demons go.
Every year, I said.
His powers are formidable, but don't let him deceive you. For all that he grants, he grabs something in return. Quid pro quo is his motto. Always remember that.
Aye, aye, Captain.
There are quite a number of imps here, my most honored guest. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can. Threads I weave and tales I see, all will I tell. Moloch, I know of him, he has a kind soul, in as far as kindness has least to dwell within the confines of a demon's body. He is kind in that he is honest. For that which you give, you will receive something in return with no strings attached, no unpleasant threads for me to weave. Not always was he so, no. He was true to his vicious nature. But during the Great War on Chaos, he, supposedly immortal, found himself on his back, with your sword halfway down his throat. You saw the fear in his eyes, the incomprehensibility of death and defeat, and so you took pity on him. He hasn't forgotten your kindness and became somewhat kind in return. A demon redeemed.
Smashed inside.
Wargraf signals you to be cautious. There are enemies nearby.
I needed that. Direct hit and hit and hit! Your frame opens to welcome you. Arrow of the Dragon! Vicious Vapor attack!
Without aid, I will expire soon.
Die, vermin! me the finest fletching. Target acquired! Without aid, I will expire soon! I'm fading. Fast. On the mend! Ascension time! Hey, my friends! Bless the seven! I am restored! I needed that. Sweet relief! Bless the seven! I am restored!
sleeve contains me. I'll defend you till my death rattle.
Your death is at hand! Die, vermin!
Life roils within these veins.
Stand down before I put you down! Water rain down!
I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale than a cold lake.
The world is not immaculate as yet, friend. Beware! Please, please.
poor man. It seems he was eaten by a beast.
Well, partially eaten, to be more precise.
Ah, the Source Hunter. It is my greatest pleasure to announce to you that we Immaculates have captured the feared White Witch and quarantined her house of horrors. Yes, the greatest known threat to Rivellon has been neutralized, thanks in no small part to you, Source Hunter. Your activities in Sicil drove the snake to her den, and that's where we Immaculates sprang our trap. I am a proud Immaculate, sworn to use my summoner's expertise in service of the goddess's one way and the greater good. Ah, the High Counselor of Sicil. We mourned his tragic death. Yes, every Immaculate honors the memory of that noble man. Still, Source Hunter, I am sworn on my life to guard this quarantine. I serve a higher authority than yours, and will not waver in my duty. Regardless, I've sworn an oath, and I'll not tolerate even a Source Hunter's interference. If I find you beyond this point, I'll be forced to summon the greatest depths of my powers to stop you!
Something isn't right
Dare
here.
to defy an
Could be an
Immaculate
ambush.
command? You'd seek the White Witch despite our warnings?
chance to act.
No glory in this death.
Aim before striking. No glory in this death. I am on the trail, Source Hunter. Into the fray once more!
Oh, I needed that. Oh, I needed that.
Takes you quickly, Source Hunter, for a second tide is swelling.
incoming!
Plummeting arrow!
Crystallize and freeze my foes!
Heavy hitter!
Behold the power of mages!
From the forge of Sigurd himself! Your demise!
Great show of savagery, Source Hunter. But I wonder how you'll fare against an obstacle you can't beat into submission.
And still this shadowy barrier remains. There must be another means of removing it.
Are you so desperate for company that you've taken to befriending fungi? Well, we're glad to hear it. somehow we doubt that very much. Have you ever seen the Moth King's silver spoon? Nearly microscopic. No, no, Source Hunter. We do believe this life hasn't finished surprising you. Not in the least. It's quite a lovely sort of barrier, isn't it? Who doesn't enjoy a gentle, breezy motion against one's backside, after all? Then again, we suspect it's been hoisted up by some not-so-savoury characters, and we happen to know just how to remove it. The only trouble is finding the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person to entrust such a secret to. Here's what we propose. We've a fresh batch of 3 brain teasers hot off our thinking caps. Perhaps, if you can answer them correctly, we might find you spirited enough to entrust with the barrier's deepest, darkest secrets. But it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes? As is your right. I must say, though, that I've never before seen a chicken so perfectly formed into the shape of a human. What's your secret? Well, that particular topic just happens to be our forte. We suppose we could start flapping our gills as easy as summer grass. But where would be the fun in that? We do so love a good brain teaser after all. And it just so happens we've a fresh batch of 3 riddles hot off our thinking cap as we speak. If you can answer each and all correctly, Source Hunter, we might find the spirit to tell you everything you need to know about the White Witch. Then again, it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes? As is your right. I must say, though, that I've never before seen a chicken so perfectly formed into the shape of a human. What's your secret? I sung of chaos and eternal night, taught by the heavenly muse to venture down the darkest descent and up to reascend. Excuse us, we had something lodged in our windpipe. Well, that particular topic just happens to be our forte. We suppose we could start flapping our gills as easy as summer grass, but where would be the fun in that? We do so love a good brain teaser after all. And it just so happens we've a fresh batch of 3 riddles hot off our thinking cap as we speak. Perhaps if you can answer each and all correctly, Source Hunter, we might find the spirit to tell you everything you need to know about the White Witch. Then again, it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes? This is better news than the Orc Queen misplacing her thumbscrew. But enough delays. Let us begin. The ravenous brute tore down my chartreuse gown, ripped out my silken hair by its roots, wrenched my children from me, and fed me to the hogs. Who am I?
What? No! The answer is clearly a pumpkin. I'd hardly insist if I wasn't certain I had selected the right answer.
No, we'll do as I say.
Bravo, bravo, bravissimo! An ear of corn indeed. Can you imagine a sheep in a chartreuse gown? A pumpkin with silken hair? The fantasies of a fool. Now, on to our second riddle. And this one's sure to stump you. I cannot lie, I cannot lay, but only lie. Who am I? You've done it again! I'm thrilled. I'm amazed. I'm liable to present the very last riddle. This one will blow you out of your stockings, so hold on tight. I've a neck as long as twice the width of a toad's tail, as many eyes as half the number of seasons per annum. I'm known to cause hurricanes in the Far East merely by taking off 2 minutes too late. Who am I? Ooh, very good, very good. The last person who tried to solve that riddle puffed away in a small impish huff, mumbling about space-time. But not you. You stuck it out until the very end, you crafty little so-and-so. So, what would you like to know? One thing we know for certain. This barrier doesn't belong here. The wizard Maradino knew as much when he started poking around here. He developed a spell to remove it, but his fancy was caught elsewhere before he bothered to implement it. Down the spell dropped, and up we scooped it. Unfortunately, we aren't quite human enough to get it to work. But you've proven yourself just the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we'd love to entrust such a secret to. We thought you'd never ask. What would you like to know? Some call her the Guardian of Lucula. And by our estimations, she's more than earned the title. She's a healing witch, concerned mostly with the safety of the living souls, animals and plants alike, of this forest. And she's been here since even before our great-great-great-great-grandmother, Francisca Toadstool the 44th, can recall. We've long lodged adjacent to her little cabin, and she used to greet us with a "How do you do?" every morning. We do hope she's not entangled in anything unsavory. What a shame it'd be if someone with a penchant for heavy-handed hoe-wielding moved in. Murder? That doesn't sound like her at all, no. Much more interested in patching things up than tearing them down, that one. Then again, it's hard to tell on what stalk a person truly stands until you've seen them at the end of their rope. Isn't that so? We suppose if someone held a sword to our caps, we'd fight them with every last spore we had. Somewhere in her cabin, as far as we know. The last we saw her, she and her apprentice Almina were rushing inside, whispering to one another. They seemed rather anxious. Perhaps they knew that those Immaculates were on their trail.
Maradino had some talent mixed in with all that hot air.
He certainly knew how to remove magical barriers, if nothing else.
Behold the seraphs of the goddess!
Seeks more than one target. Turn this scoundrel. It's a miracle! Fatal arrow!
Just try to slither free.
Freeze their blood!
Scorpion!
Behold the seraphs of the goddess!
Only the finest fletching.
defend you till my death rattle.
Face the unending darkness.
No glory in this death.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fiercest of them all?